Welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops. Coach,
How you doing?
weather outside is frightful, and tomorrow will be delightful. Are you in the holiday spirits?
Of course. I have kids. I
It's
have kids and I coach
December.
kids. They all want to do
It's
holiday
December.
music in
I'm
our
sorry for
practices
all.
now, which
I'm
is good.
sorry for everyone that's driving or listening or walking their dogs or whatever, exercising and had to listen to me sing. I'm sorry for that. My
You
my
want to
wife has a gorgeous voice. My daughter has a gorgeous voice. I do not. So
I
I
was not blessed with it either. My whole family, my son can sing, my daughter, wife.
yeah.
Uh, it's,
I think I would have been in the Statler Bars. I would have been the deep. I would have been the,
you're the deep voice.
the deep voice guy. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
it sounds like I smoke like I've never smoked in my entire life. It sounds like I'm a smoker, like with a deep. Anyway, never. Other than a few stogies to keep the mosquitoes away when I'm trout fishing. That's the only time. That's a good. There's your life lesson.
I
Light
always
up.
lose my voice coaching. I'm not a yeller at all, and it's not because I'm yelling. I'm just,
It's
doing it
strain. It's strain.
strained.
I
Yeah.
know. I
Because I'm
should
trying.
start training early. That's a good idea. That should be like an October, September thing before the season starts. I
Mhm.
should just start going in the gym and just start
Maybe we
belting.
should get a professional on to give us coaches some tips on how to train your voice.
Yes. I'll give you advice for the next time you're in a big packed gym. You always yell down to the floor.
Yeah, once you told me that, I do that now.
I know. It's crazy. It
It
works, doesn't it?
works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you bounce the sound off the floor and it goes up. Cup your hands around your mouth and then bounce down, coaches, and then it will bounce out. It's geometry from the math teacher. And then they can hear you better. Anyway, so there's our pitter patter at the beginning. We always have pitter patter. Coach never knows which avenue I'm going to walk down. Duck hunting to yelling too much or losing your voice. Um, anyway, so let's give a big shout out to our sponsors, Game Changer. We love Game Changer,
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah, coaches, if you're in your season right now and you're not using Game Changer, you're missing out. Go to gc.com/coaching youth hoops. You're missing out on real-time game stats, your review, film review. Uh, it'll give you the insight you need to make your players better and your team better. Go to gc.com/coaching youth hoops.
Boom. And what else, Coach? Do we have anything else to talk about before we jump into the topic?
Well, we're talking about offense today and creating space on the offense. So we hear the one question we get is, well, what offense should I run? So we created an interactive tool to help you find the perfect offense based on the uniqueness of your team. So if you go to coachingyouthhoops.com/youth dash basketball dash offense. So
I
coachingyouthhoops.com
keep
youth
going, Coach.
dash basketball dash offense. We will put that in the show notes as well. It's also linked on the top of our website. So yeah, coachingyouthhoops.com.
Yeah, that's a long URL.
Youth
Powered by AI too.
powered
Powered
by
by
AI.
AI.
That's
Yes.
right.
There you go. Go check it out. I think it's really cool, actually.
We put a lot of work into making that happen. So
I know.
I don't know.
We
It
haven't
was
spent
one of
much time on getting a good URL, but we have spent a lot of time on
I'm on the tool.
on the tool.
The good
Give them the
youth
URL
basketball
our
offense.
time, Coach, because their pencil probably broke while they were writing it. What is it
So
again?
it's coachingyouthhoops.com/youth dash basketball dash offense. Youth basketball offense.
Youth
Dashes in
basketball.
between each word.
Dashes between each word. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm making fun of him. If you're listening right now, I'm mocking him actually. And he's not smiling. I'm smiling, but he's not smiling. Because I'm
I'm
mocking him.
smiling.
No.
Come on.
Longest URL I've ever heard. Anyway, all right. What's today's topic, Coach?
Yeah, we're talking about offense and creating space. One of the things that has come up in discussion with coaches is players bunching, uh, players getting in the way of other players on their drives, kind of maybe even just standing around not doing anything a lot of times. So especially I see this at the younger grades. Great example is. Coach Collins has the ball. I'm on his team, and I'm literally standing less than an arm's length away from him, and I come up to him begging for the ball, right? Ball, 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 ball. Right, give me the ball, right? And I always say to the kids, "What did that? If you just hand me the ball, what just happened? Nothing. Like we're back. We've netted zero, right? We
Always
didn't create any space.
happens.
We didn't, right? And that's a hard concept to teach and understand, and it takes some time. I was watching. I did a camp the other day, first and second graders, and this idea of creating space, right? It's hard for them to get that concept down at that young of age. And I was talking with one of my youth coaches, and I said, "How do you go from what you're seeing on the court today and everybody's bunching to," she's a high school player, uh, "to what you guys run?" She goes, "I don't even remember." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you were just like this back in first grade." And it's just kind of crazy how it evolves. But I always just, I always yell, space is your offense at this young of age. Just space is your offense, right?
Yes.
Or don't take a drive away from one of your teammates, right? You get, so I think there's some basic concepts. So let's go
Right.
through those basic concepts that you need to teach. This is not about an offense particularly, but it's about basic concepts. And I think it comes down to, um, well, one, how do you get open? The reason I'm coming up to Coach Collin is, uh, you know, I didn't dodge my defender, or he's not using his pivots, right? So one is how to get open. Two, teach them pivots, right? Three might be, uh, teaching what to do if you're not open and your teammate can't get you the ball. Like, what are your options, right?
Right.
What are some other big buckets that we
Well,
might fall
I
into
think
that?
I think
Teaching
I
space.
well, space is like again, probably the hardest thing in sports to teach. I
Hmm.
think any sport. Like you think
Yeah,
about like it's just um I think it's got to be visual for them in some way.
definitely.
When I used to do the little ones, the littles, I call them the littles. We used to put painter's tape down on the floor and they had to be in one of the spots. I put a big X with painter's tape down on the
Yeah.
floor um to make sure because they never run to the right. I've always thought we should have these, like, if anyone wants to invent these, like these vests that you put on, and then as they get closer, it turns red, and then if they get farther away, it turns green. So they always want it to be green, kind of thing. Anyway, if you want to TM, there you go, TM. I'll do what is it? Was that was an Office episode, I think, when they were interviewing for Michael's job. TM, the guy who kept TMing everything. Trademark, trademark. Anyway, I've always thought that would be a great invention for sports, but the painter's tape, I think, is a unique little pivot um, that can help, I think, just kind of knowing where you need to be. Because it's a visual thing for them. I think they want to be in the right spot, but they don't know how to get there, kind of thing.
There's
um,
also the numbers, the vinyl numbers you can put down on the floor that you just
yeah,
pick up, right? That,
right.
1 through 5, that
Yeah.
will help.
And those you can get
Uh,
those on Amazon. Those are everywhere.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cheap. Yeah, on Amazon. Yeah. But yeah, just, I think, the things that I break it down into getting open. So we teach kids how to get open so their teammates can throw them the ball, right? Um, Really important part of spacing. I literally show them the example what we just had talked about, me standing next to you and you were just tossing the ball literally just an arm's length away back and forth. And again, we're trying to little ball in the big hoop, right? So that's what we're trying to do. The ball handler needs to learn how to do pivoting, right? So one, they can pivot, see the court, see that person that is trying to get open, pass, and do their thing, right? Um, but you're absolutely right. I think the idea of having markers to start, and those are the spots in the beginning that you fill, especially when you're teaching it at a young age. I think getting rid of two people on the court and going 3v3 is crucial in teaching spacing. Um, and then we talk about, I try to give them as many examples as possible of Like, okay, if my offensive team is building a wall, can I dribble through that wall? No, right? That's again that using that physical space, like you're in my way. And I said, what are we trying to do? We're trying to pull the defense away so we can create this drive right up the middle. That's the ideal situation, right? So, and then try to use a bit of logic, saying, well, if I bring my player to you, what's going to happen? I just took away your drive.
Right.
So,
And that's again them seeing it. I think it's that
is seeing
visual
it,
part. It
yeah.
really is. It's again, especially at the younger ages, they have to do and see. They have to do and
Hmm.
see. You can do other things, but those I think that's tends to be the way that I've noticed that they learn and you know, um and repetition. To be honest with you. You got to rep it a lot. Um
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah.
run red light, green light kind of stop kind of thing too. I'll just
Yes,
freeze them. You
that's
just
right. Yeah.
freeze them. I go, all right, let's figure out. No one move. No, and then someone will move. No, don't move.
Someone
You
always
kind of,
moves.
yeah. It's like have that fun with them, especially at the
That's
younger
right.
ages. And then you can show them. And again, they're seeing it, they're doing it. They think it's funny when coach freezes them. Um, but again, you guys are more creative than I am probably, but
Yeah, definitely. We do a lot of the freezing too. Again, just shows them visually where everyone is on the court, where the defense is, especially, right?
right,
Uh, and just I think the repetitions, but also again, it goes back to just teaching them some of the fundamentals that they need to create space and to help their teammates out on the court. Going back to, the doing, getting open. I was talking about painting the floor less to get open and straight and just lines, right? One small little line, and then techniques on how to do that so you can get the ball. Doing the numbers on the floor so you know where you should technically be, right? Again, we're talking early, we're talking younger kids that are having difficulty in the space, or spacing out when you're just teaching them. Uh, and then also just, what if you have the ball, how do you pivot? How do you keep that defender away from you so you can see the court and you can see what's happening in front of you, so you can see your cutters. And then basic concept of when I dribble at Steve, if I have the ball, Steve's got to move. Steve's got to cut to the basket, right? So
right.
right,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
I'll use like the superhero thing. I'm gonna bounce off them if they're coming. They've got extra, if they get closer than 2 feet, I'm out, because it's gonna zap me, and I'll anyway. Again, more creative
have
than I
fun
am.
with it. Yeah, I think
Thanks.
that's
Have
what you're
fun with it.
saying.
You
Yeah,
really
yeah,
have to
yeah.
have
Make
fun with it.
something up that,
Make
yeah,
something up that will be work with your
they're gonna get
team.
zapped,
They're
right?
gonna get zapped if they get within a foot,
Yeah,
and then you're gonna have to go out, and someone else is gonna come in. So make sure you're not within a foot. Blah blah blah. What's a
yeah.
foot? And then I'll hold up my foot, and anyway, it's kind of funny. All right. Anything else, Coach?
Yeah, just go check out gc.com/coaching youth hoops. Uh, it is a app that you can use to record your games and then break down your footage later. See, get your stats in real time post game, make your teammates better, and make your team better.
Yeah.
Go to gc.com/coaching youth hoops.
And you can also go check the blitz offense because it does a lot of what coach won't say this, but it does a lot of what you were just talking about, right?
And what's that URL, coach? I got one for you, nice and short.
That
coachingyouthhoops.com/blitz.
see, he can do it, people. We know he can do the short URL. We know he can. All right. Until next week.
Till next time, coach.